Hello, my nectarines. Nono here and I'm back with another video. I missed you guys. Did you miss me? Because I missed you. Did you miss me? Okay then. So for today, we're going to be doing the detachable nails. I posted a short a while ago here on my YouTube, and I asked you guys if you'd like to see a full set of this design, and you guys said yes, please, yes. So that's what we're going to be doing today. However, I did switch it up a bit because for the nail that you guys saw, that nail took me an hour, you guys. An hour for one nail because I was using polygel. So I said no, we got to simplify this. For today I am using full cover tips, and this way is much quicker. I did 4 of the nails off camera, and then we're gonna do one together so that you guys, if you want to try it, you can do so. Another thing I wanted to mention quickly is that this is not my brainchild, you guys, because you guys were like, you better go patent that, girl. No, it's not my brainchild at all. This particular design, we're just playing around, having fun as nail techs, and it's not serious at all, you guys. So yeah, not my brainchild, but I'm super excited to show you guys how I kind of made this one. So let's get into today's video. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be using full cover tips. I'm using the ones I got from Shein because they are all over the place, and they just, I can mess around with these. And we're going to be doing the pinky together. So I'm making sure that the pinky nail fits perfectly. And then you're going to need a normal tip, like what do you call these ones? Like free edge tips? I'm not sure, but a normal tip. And then you're going to measure it, making sure that it fits inside the full cover tip. So it's not overlapping or too small, it's just right. And it fits from sidewall to sidewall. Next up, I'm just marking where to cut the tip, that way it's not too long, and I'm using the ones that I've already made to measure. Cut the tip down, and then we're just going to customize it a little bit more and just make sure that it's going to sit nice and comfortably around my cuticle area. Now that I'm happy with the overall customization and the nail sits nice and snug, we are now going to stick the normal tip inside the full cover tip. I know it sounds like a lot, bestie. I know it looks confusing, but stay with me. The glue is normal nail glue, so you don't have to use any fancy glues. Normal glue works, and you don't have to etch. It just sticks. It does such a great job. You do have to hold it for a few seconds just to make sure that it is really stuck and it's not going to go all over the place. Once the glue is dry all the way, we're going to trim that excess tip down, but don't throw away this tip because we are going to use it. And before I kind of jam it in between the two, I like just filing that excess tip a little bit towards the free edge there. That way it's nice and thin, so it can slide in between the full cover tip and the actual tip. And that's pretty much it. That's how you make the nails like detach. You see how it's sliding in there? That's what you want. And this, you guys, gives such a strong grip, which is perfect. And once you're done, you're going to trim it to your desired size, and then we're going to do a few more customizations. If you were using polygel, this is where you would use it to kind of bridge the gap between the two. So you want to get rid of that step down so that it looks like one nail. So today I'm going to be using normal builder gel because it works just as fine, but you can use acrylic, you can use polygel, and they will work just as well. I'm really focusing on that area, and I want to make sure that the height of the builder gel that I'm applying matches the height of the full cover tip. So this is how we're looking after the builder gel application. I'm wiping away the inhibition layer so we can start filing. I do want to mention that when I was applying the builder gel, I did pull the detachable part a little bit out. That way when I'm done filing, I can just push it in and it just sits nice and flush. Do you guys see how nice and flush it looks now to the full cover tip? But it will still have that step down, which is fine because once you connect the two, you want to have a nice smooth transition, which just turned out perfectly. I tried my best to make them as smooth as I can, and listen, I'm really happy with how they turned out. Now it's time to bring these babies to life, and I'm going to do so with some gel color, of course, using the shade 0993 from Model 1. I don't think I've ever used this color before, so I'm very excited to give it a try today. You'll notice as I'm applying the gel, I've slightly detached the two parts, you know what I mean, so that gel doesn't slide in that crevice, and the next thing I cannot detach the nails. So this helped a lot. And then, as I mentioned, I did go in with 2 coats for all the nails, and I was really happy with this shade. So this is how the nails are looking at this point. After I'm done with the 2 coats, I did buff the nails. I did buff the shine off instead of using matte top coat because I didn't want them to be too thick. I will admit that at this point, they look like cigarettes. They look like stompies. But don't worry, we are going to turn this around. And give me a second. Watch. Hey, that's better. Cigarette wear. So I'm going to quickly show you guys how I created this design. I was just winging it, you guys, and I ended up absolutely loving it. I'm going in with my favorite blue gel polishes from Nail Reserve. The shade is Pool Party, and then I'm also going with a darker blue from Bling Girl in the shade 102, and I'm using the darker blue just to create some dimension and some darker spots. How I do this particular design is I always start with the top leaf, and then from the top leaf I do like a smooth line depending on which direction I want my branch basically to go, and then I do my leaves. I'm using a stubby nail art brush. Stubby brushes are the best when it comes to detailed nail art. Longer brushes can get a little bit messy and you struggle to get the finer detailing. So I'll do all the leaves first, and then once I'm done, I'll start dragging the little points onto the main stem. This is probably one of my first ever designs I mastered. I absolutely love it. Now let's talk more about the detachable nail trend. I first saw this design from Faye the Nail Tech. As you can see, she's doing the DIY version, and a friend of mine on TikTok tagged me, and I was blown away that she came up with this. And I'm not sure if she's the original person who came up with it. And she just takes 2 tips, glues them onto her nail, and then in between the gap she then applies another tip as the part that is detachable. She's using hard gel, I think, and after she's done, she just blends and finishes up the entire look with some nail art over it, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. I saw this and I was like, okay, I also want to try the DIY version basically. And the only problem about this one is that there's a gap in between once you detach, so a lot of dirt can go in there. But either way, like, her design was absolutely amazing. Now the OG for me, the original person I saw ever on TikTok was Hannah, and Hannah had 3D printed her nails, and that's why I initially thought, this is probably not possible if you don't have a 3D printing machine. And she basically just took us to the journey of how she developed these nails using her 3D printer and how they attached and detached, and she also started selling them on her Etsy account, I think. So it was absolutely brilliant. Again, I was like, whoa, my mind is blown. This is incredible. Now I want to show you guys one last account. I think her name is Key2. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong as well, and her ones are pretty unique because they detach, and then she has a little cap so that dirt doesn't go in there. She also sells them to all her clients, which is awesome. So there's so many versions of these detachable nails. They're so much fun, and the DIY version, which is the one I'm doing, again, is just for fun. I don't think it's very practical because a lot of dirt can just go in there, but it's fun to try either way. So now I am going to be using normal nail charms to cover up my seam so that you cannot see where they detach. While I was grabbing my charms, I saw this gold sparkle paint from Born Pretty, and I thought this would be perfect to add a little sparkle to the overall design. So I had to stir it up a little bit just in case some of that glitter is sitting at the bottom of the pot. And then I just grabbed my liner brush again, and I probably did 3 or 4 leaves, and I just covered them completely, and I really loved how this turned out. It just made the set a little bit more classy, a little bit more elevated, and it just looks so cool. This is how the nails are looking after I'm done with all the nail art. Now let's attach the charms. You're mainly going to attach them on the detachable part, but it must still overlap so that it covers up that seam. And I'm using my rhinestone glue, and to flash cure I'm using my gold pearl. You know, she be coming through for me lately with the flash curing, and so cool that I can just detach, you know, the top part with the charm, and then I'm left with a clean nail. I absolutely loved it. So I picked different designs and different styles of charms. They're all gold and they're all different, but I think together they just created such a fun look for this set. I'm doing the exact same step: rhinestone glue, flash cure, and then I pop them in my lamp for 60 seconds. I went and applied my top coat off camera. I did attach the nails using normal sticky tabs for like press on nails. I wanted to give my hands a bit of a break from the UV light for this set. So yeah, that's why I ended up just attaching them once I was done. But here is the final look, you guys. What do you even mean? They look so pretty. I am obsessed. I love how they turn out, and look at how easily they just detach from the nails. And I even like the short version. I think the short version is even better. It's giving, if you're someone who likes charms but they overwhelm you, so you can just quickly take them off and then reattach them when you feel like you want to be a little bit extra and you want to be fancy. I love this design. I'm so happy with this set. I really enjoyed the entire process. Please let me know what you guys think. Have you tried these? Are you willing to try these? And is it something you would look into? But overall, thank you so much for watching until the end. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one real soon. Love you. Bye.